and welcome to my art fight recap for 2023. I will admit that this is a bit late. It's been several months since art fight ended, and I was busy trying to get the speed draws and stuff out before this, which ended up taking a really long time. So here we are in November, going over all of the art fight stuff from July. Okay, so jumping in with the first attack, I will admit that I was trying to get reference sheets done for my characters, because art fight is a good excuse to do it, and so I was rushing. I was rushing to get those reference sheets done and update my characters and update Toy House, and what I would normally be doing around this time is collecting characters, bookmarking characters, sticking characters together in my bookmarks that I think would do well in a group or mass attack. But I didn't have any time for that, and so when art fight officially began, I was lost. I didn't have that many bookmarks, and I ended up going with these two characters, which did not really fit together at all, and I didn't realize that until I had actually almost finished the drawing. I thought, gray with another gray character, it'll be great. But actually, the little dog is more of a blue color palette. And then there's this wolf guy with the really yellow eyes and the red collar, and it doesn't blend. And I was horrified when I came to this realization. I did not have a lot of fun with this first attack. But I'm glad that I got it done and that I was able to draw these two characters. It's not too hard to crop one of them out if need be. Okay, moving on to the second attack. I definitely had character going together in mind to such a point that these dog characters had even some of their colors in common, which is really strange because they weren't related in any way. One of them is a wolf and one of them is a panda German Shepherd, I believe. But what they had in common, both of these characters, is that I think one of them had birds in their, one of their references, and one of them said in their bio that they liked birds. So, originally I think I was just gonna throw in random birds, but then I realized that if I grab birds from other people at Art Fight, I get extra points. Easy full body at the expense of it kind of not blending in, kind of not fitting the scene. I ended up going with a lot of bird characters by spectators in Art Fight. They were not participating in the event, but they were happy to see their bird characters drawn. I think one of the birds is a pigeon, one is a dove, a chickadee, and some sort of blue jay. I don't think it's a blue jay. I can find it. A black-throated magpie jay. Very unique. Somebody's OC. Okay, so the third attack was a revenge, I believe. Overall pretty happy with this one. I could have used more work on the, anatomy. I definitely struggled with trying to get, a good, unique pose for so long that I just ended up going with this one. And something's definitely off, but I had fun doing the eyes, the flowers, having a base for it to stand on, for the pose to stand on was good. Yeah, overall this design was very pretty. The fur, the floof, definitely the eyes and the purple tones in this character were really fun to draw. Moving on to the fourth attack, this was actually an attack on a friend of mine, Cuppy Kate, with two of her warrior cat characters. They're both in the same roleplay, but I don't think they're associated with each other in any way, at least not yet. So I thought about doing a gathering scene where they possibly could have interacted. The reason I wanted to do these two characters is that they had the antlers in common. And I found it interesting that the older cat had little antlers, and then the younger cat had these much bigger antlers not necessarily in the design, but in the reference sheet. I would really like to get better at backdrops at some point, but this year's art fight, I just couldn't focus on that right now. I went backdropless for a lot of my attacks. Alright, and for the fifth attack, I believe this character was called Spike. This was another revenge that I really, really wish I had worked more on this loafing position or drawn them in a different position entirely. I'm not happy with this one. I don't like the way it came out. I really rushed through this, and that sad excuse for a butterfly that I called a prop. I should not have done that for extra points. I really should not have done that. Not really happy with this one. Just glad that I got it done and I got that revenge and a couple of points. 70 points for that. I don't think I deserved it. I'm sorry. I just not my best piece. Okay, but thankfully that brings me to one of my favorite, if not my favorite attack this year. Totally on brand with the vampire vibe. This was an attack on two of my friends, actually. One of them had some, clan gen vampire challenge characters that had really cool designs and some really cool story elements behind them. And then I threw in Blood Cloud, the character with the. I don't want to say right and left because I don't know what that is to other people on screen, but the character with the extra. No, they all have floof. Yeah, you can just guess which one is Blood Cloud. And then Blood Cloud's character, Blood Cloud actually attacked me with this really, really amazing animation with really smooth tweening. I'll have it up on screen if I get permission, of my favorite character, Snakefang. I'm just so happy with this attack, and it was a friendly fire. And I wanted to get them back for it, but I also wanted to get points for our team, so this was the perfect opportunity. This one was so fun. And I'll have the speed draw linked or in a card or something here if you want to check out the entire process of making this. So glad I was able to record it. So glad that I was able to finally have a win. I feel like this was really my first win on Art Fight this year. So happy with this one. Alright, this attack was another revenge on someone. I'm trying to remember what they attacked me with. Oh, okay. So this one was a revenge for a mass attack, actually, that I was included in. And I drew some of their clan gen characters. And I think I was listening to, Ophelia by the Lumineers, or their character story just reminded me of these lyrics. And so I put them on screen. Oh yeah, and this was my first lineless drawing since last year's art fight. So I almost gave up on this. I got most of the lines, or I got the color down and the basic shading, and then I really wasn't liking the way it was going. I was gonna have to line over it or something. I'm glad that I continued working on it and added all of the other details. I feel like the backdrop helps a ton. But I do wish I had done a little bit better during the sketch phase to get it looking a little less wonky. And maybe work on my lineless skill and shading and stuff, which I did do this art fight to practice since I hadn't done it in so long. Alright, 8th attack here. We have this. So this is actually one of my bookmarks, a character that I really wanted to draw because it was this cool wolf with these really long glowy antler things, and I wanted to do some sort of really cool forest scene with this wolf in a bold position, in the distance, majestic, thinking of deer, in the distance, something like that. I don't know. I had a much different picture in my head, and this is what I ended up with, is just a wolf standing very neutral. There's no interesting position or story in this scene. Even the glowing is underwhelming, and I'm honestly sad that this piece came out the way that it did, and then I was just struggling to finish. I'm happy with the background. It reminds me of an attack that I did previously, with a bluish gray background palette, but this has to go in my least favorite pieces of this year just due to the fact that it's not what I wanted. It's not what I envisioned in my head, and I feel like I went with the easy way out, the easy position. Okay, so by this next attack, I was struggling so much to revenge on all of the people that attacked me this year. The more years that you're on Art Fight, the more attacks that I feel like people will get. And I was just getting swamped this year. And our team was losing, and it's just really stressful. Um, so I ended up just setting a 30-minute timer, and I just did this lineless piece in 30 minutes. I think I spent a little bit longer getting like the moon perfected and all that. Um, and the shading and fixing small details just to make sure that it wasn't like it didn't look totally rushed because it was totally rushed. So yeah, pretty happy with the way this one came out. It was a pretty simple character too, so that worked in my favor, I guess. But I'm just glad I was able to revenge this person. And then we have another 30-minute piece that took actually longer than 30 minutes because I was trying to work on all of these fur details and stuff and got distracted and then ended up going back on the fur and just. I wish that I had spent more time on the sketch and getting the muzzle right and getting the face looking right, or even doing a different position here. And less time trying to add fancy fur details and get the line art. And with this brush that I chose to use, I wish I had spent more time on the feathers. It's not bad, but I have a feeling in several years I'm gonna look back on this and wonder about the anatomy. Alright, so this was another attack that I thought I was just gonna spend 30 minutes on and be done, but I wanted to put in more effort. Yes, okay, so this was a revenge. Their characters are honestly so pretty, and this time I found this really pretty medicine cat with these really pretty eyes. It was just fun, honestly, to paint and be messy and not worry so much and do lineless and work with the fur. And honestly, just to take time on a piece and really commit to it and try not to worry so much about getting all the revenges done and getting stuff done really quickly and efficiently because I just am not. I I feel much better about the pieces that I'm able to put a lot more effort into, even if they're messy. I feel so much better being able to put a lot of effort into a piece than to just speed run through a piece and just throw attacks out there. That's just not what I wanted to do this year. Okay, so next I went with another lineless piece. This was a revenge on somebody that I actually somewhat know from a Discord channel, and their WolfQuest character Borf Borf is kind of a legend in there, so I wanted to depict Borf Borf in full glory from what I knew about him. I just know that he's really chaotic and maybe a borderline evil, something like that. So obviously Borf Borf is rapidly approaching your location. You should be afraid. Borf Borf is terrifying, honestly. Um, I I kind of don't like the way that this came out, and at the same time, I do. It was just really hard to do lineless for such a dark character. Not too happy about this one, but also it's fine for now. Moving on to yet another revenge. All I can say about this one is Cat. Cat was a little bit easier than all the other stuff I was doing. I actually did line art for this one. I remember I struggled on the face a lot. It went through multiple versions of ugly before I finally got it to this point. And like it's okay. The shading though. The shading. This was the turning point where I decided not to shade around the entirety of the character. It doesn't look good, it doesn't look right. This was around the point where I decided I kind of wanted to do or experiment with cell shading. So, yeah, not making that mistake with the shading again, but it was nice to just settle down and do a cat for once and do full line art and not just mess it up by trying to go lineless. Okay, now moving on to the Caught in the Storm attack. I'm actually quite happy. I put lots of effort into this. I finally got that mass attack that I was itching to do. And yeah, I remember this one taking so long. The line art, oh my goodness, the the colors, the character designs, the background, which I wish I had been able to spend more time on, but I was just so dead. I was so burnt out by the time I finished all the line art, and then getting almost to the end and then having to shade every little line. But I'm super happy with the way it came out. I'm glad I was able to record it, and I'll also have the speed draw linked, which I think I talk more about this piece in that. But yeah, super happy that I was able to do a mass attack. I love these. I love putting effort and featuring multiple people's characters and trying to come up with a story that would fit each of those characters in a scene. Okay, so this next attack I almost didn't post. Like I finished it, but I didn't post it. I was not happy with there were just so many things that I could have done with this character that were really cool. I even tried to animate this character when I was under the false impression that I wanted to animate something for Art Fight before realizing that that would just take up the rest of my time and I wouldn't be able to attack anybody else. And I would spend so much time just on one character animation. It was a really bad idea. But yeah, the the pose I don't like the way that I did the pose. I don't like the detail. I don't know. This is just definitely not one of my proudest attacks. I just really wish I had done something cooler with this character. That's all. Okay, but then I did figure out cell shading, or I experimented with it on this one, and I actually had a lot of fun with the shading. Um, this may be one of my favorite, actually, like, poses and expression. I had so much fun doing the expression on this character. Overall, it's amazing. I'll probably have a speed draw on this releasing eventually once I get that figured out. My only regret is drawing it as a cat. I don't know why I looked at that wolf character reference sheet with the long nose and thought it was a cat. I guess I was just super tired and just rushing by this point. I don't even know if it is a wolf because it doesn't say in any of the tags that it is a wolf. So I just feel like I may have accidentally species swapped this character and I feel bad about that. So we have this other mass attack. I'm very sad that I didn't record this one, but I was really tired. I was just trying to get it done. I had so much fun, like fitting these characters into the scene. I'm really happy with. I think that Leaping Apprentice was the person that I officially attacked, and I was just so happy with the way that that pose came out. Yeah, so I basically just stuffed a bunch of the Warrior Cat characters that I found that were really cool into a scene that I thought would work out. I accidentally attacked one person twice. Yes, it was once in that painted attack that you saw earlier, and then I don't think they even revenged, and I attacked them again with one of their other warrior cat characters. The background was really interesting on this. I was really experimenting with different colors, and it was really fun to do the rocks and then add like mossy texture and just texture to the rocks and grass and trees and stuff. So yeah, extremely happy that I was able to get this one done as well. Just really sad that I didn't record it, even though that would have taken up probably a lot of file space, and I probably didn't want to do that anyways. I was so tired at this point. Alright, so the next attack is a character that I had in my bookmarks a while. This really cute firefly based shape shifting type creature that just really adorable with like wings that could be almost anything. And I feel like I've had this character in my bookmarks for 2 years at least, and have been meaning to draw it and just never got around and just kept planning on it, so I decided to go for it this year. I feel like there's definitely some anatomy issues. I wasn't really sure how to depict this magical, mythical character creature. I mean, the reference sheet was really helpful, but I still feel like I might have messed up. I think I succeeded. It's cute. I do want to do better, though. I might draw this character or one of their other characters again in the future. I honestly just wanted to draw wings and glowy things, so that's what I got out of this one. Okay, so funny story behind this attack. I saw this cool person's sauna, or OC, and I was like, join Art Fight so that I have an excuse to draw your sauna um, in the midst of Art Fight, near the end of Art Fight. And they did, so I went ahead and drew their really adorable, I think it's a Wolf Lynx OC, because that's literally their username. Yeah, it's a wolf. It's like half wolf, half lynx with that folded ear that I love, ear tufts I love, all of the floof I love, so I just had to draw their OC or sauna. So yeah, this one was fun. I have a version without the fireflies and with, and for some reason I wasn't that happy with it at the time of posting, but I think it came out okay. And I might even draw their wolf again in the future if I get the chance. Alright, moving on. I think we have 3 attacks left to go through. Okay. The water this time. I've done water in previous art fight attacks and it went really well. This is one of those cases where it did not go well. I struggled and I struggled and I struggled until finally I could struggle no more and I gave up and I just posted it the way it was. It gives it looks really shallow and I meant for it to be a lot deeper. I don't know what happened. I don't know how to fix it. I had no idea how to fix it. Aside from that though, I'm happy with the cat, the way the cat came out, and again, I went out and looked for other people's bird, in this case duckling, OCs, and actually got several interesting options. Of course, always when you stick a bunch of characters together in a scene, sometimes they don't blend, especially if you do it last minute like I did. I wasn't originally planning to do other people's characters, but I saw an opportunity for points and I took it at the expense of the art that wasn't going well anyways. So, alright, and now what would have been my last attack. It's actually really funny because I was trying to draw this person's OC's day 2 for the absolutely beautiful design on these characters. I wanted to do a campfire type scene because the blue cat here plays guitar. I wanted to do like a guitar campfire scene. It would have been glorious. But have you ever tried to draw an instrument when all you ever draw is cats? Have you ever tried to draw a cat in such a position that it would actually play an instrument? And this person's style is very unique. I love it, but fitting that into my style was a huge struggle on top of everything else, so I ended up giving up until for some reason eventually they attacked me, and then I'm like, well, okay, now now I really need to attack them back. So, yeah, I threw a lot of effort into this at like the last week or the last few days of Art Fight. Um, redid the entire backdrop like halfway through. I'll have a speed drop on my channel eventually, and you'll see that. I just scrap the entire backdrop at some point and restart. And I'm glad I did, because I had a lot of fun doing the shiny rocks and everything. The crab missed out on all the attention. I was so busy doing the rocks and the backdrop and the cat's designs and the shading and the sketch and everything that the crab kind of got the short end of the deal. I wish it had been cuter. I wish also that it had been someone's character. Because, you know, gotta get the extra points wherever I can, right? So yeah, I'm happy with this one. Glad I was able to record it. I'll have that recording posted at some point if I manage to get that done. And I'll probably talk more about this piece in that, assuming I even remember any of the details. It was so long ago at this point. I'm just glad it's over. So, yeah. The morning that Art Fight would have ended for me at like 2 o'clock or something. Woke up, was so anxious about it ending soon. And I guess, I don't remember if like I wanted to fix the number of attacks on my screen or something. There was some reason why I thought I needed. Maybe it was to even out. Oh, I think it was because I had an odd number of attacks and I wanted it to be an even number. So, in the last fleeting moments before Art Fight ended, I attacked Magix again, a friend, on Discord, and also it was a revenge too. Because I've been really wanting to draw these two characters together, and I never get around to it, or I can't. By the time I draw their character, I can't draw my own. It's really weird. I found this, like, reference image of a wolf, like, biting into another wolf's head or something, and I wanted to do that with these two characters, so. I've never been more stressed in my life. I've never been more tense in my life as I was trying to get this done in, like, I think I had an hour or under an hour. Not only that, but I wanted to submit it before all of the lag and stuff started, because everyone tries to submit their attacks at the end of the year, like rapid fire, to get on the homepage or something like that. So I wanted to submit mine long before that all happened, or I might not get the chance. Yeah, this one was rushed. I'm surprised it came out as well as I did. I also wish I had spent a lot more time on it, but you know, it's fine. It was a desperate attempt, and I just got it done, and I now have 52 attacks listed. Not in this year, but 52 attacks listed now. Alright, my voice is dying. That's fine. I've just spent the last few hours recording various things. Hopefully this was a pretty long video. I feel like there were so many things that I wanted to mention that I just forgot. But definitely check the description for other info. And all of the character credits. It's going to be a pain to post all of the character credits down in the description, and I think, yeah, if I forgot anything, I'm just going to mention it in future speed draws, because I do have those few. I think I have the cell shaded attack, I'm pretty sure I recorded the Lynx wolf character attack, and the beach cat's attack. So those should be coming out at some point. I don't know when. And I hope to see you in my next videos or around my channel if you're new and you somehow made it to the end of this video. Hello. Bye for now. It doesn't sound natural. I might just have to re-record this. Okay, my voice is dead. Goodbye.